What is good, guys, and welcome to another video. Today, doing kind of normal workshop stuff. So I figured I'd make a vlog out of it. Right away today, the first thing I'm doing is I'm prepping and cleaning this RB25DET, that Series 2 motor that came out of an R33 all the way actually down in Goto, Nagasaki, Japan, on those little islands where Koshikubi's from. So cleaning this, giving it a little bit of a bath, and getting it all ready so that I can compression test it and everything and make sure it's all good for sale. Got another gearbox there as well to do. So bunch of work to get done. Throw you on the time lapse and let's get started. Okay, so the weather kind of turned to crap, as you can see. Poor race car. So I had to move everything inside here. Got the motor and the gearbox all here. And I'm at the stage now where I need to do the compression test. So what I'm going to do is take off the clutch because I don't want the gearbox spinning or anything like that during it. And I do need to bolt the gearbox up to that just so I can get the starter motor up onto the flywheel and spinning and stuff, then hook up a battery. Then we'll take the spark plugs out and we'll do each cylinder, make sure the compression's good. And then we'll take pictures and list it online. And then we'll go from there. And then after that, I'm probably going to tackle my my RB for the race car out there. And we'll pull the head on and the sump off on that and work out what happened to it. So let's get started. All right, so I've finished doing the compression test and we got really good results. Starting from number 1 all the way down to 6, we got 155, 160, 160, 155, 155, 160. So really solid results for a cold compression test on an RB25. So this motor is really healthy, which matches up with its kilometers and just general look at the motor. You can see here like its timing belt and stuff like that's in good nick. And that's the factory timing belt too. That hasn't been changed at all. So it hasn't even done its 100,000 kilometer timing service. It also looks like it's got purple head injectors, so that could be the Nismo 555cc injectors, the 555s. But what I wanted to show you guys was how to do a compression test and use your starter motor like I have here on the floor. Because a lot of people, when they get a motor, they just pick it up and you can't do a compression test by cranking it over by hand. Like that would be nearly impossible. So what you do is take all the spark plugs out, put your gearbox on with no clutch, put the starter motor on, get your battery, hook your negative up to a good earth on the motor, so something chunky. I've just put it on the water block there. Get your positive alligator clip terminal and put that on the positive terminal for your starter motor there. Then I have a bunch of these like alligator clip wires, which are really good for testing things. Clip this onto the little trigger wire for the solenoid there. There's a little spade connector under here. Click that on there. And now this becomes your switch for starting the starter motor. The moment I tap this, see it wants to start cranking. So if I just hold this on here, it starts cranking the engine. So I've got all the spark plugs out, which means it's going to be spinning very freely like that, like you heard. The only other thing you want to do is when you put your compression tester in, just hold your throttle body open to get as much air in there as you can. That way you'll get faster, better results. And like I said, this is a cold compression test. When the motor's heated up, you're going to see, because everything expands, the metal and the rings on the piston expand, you're going to see much higher compression results. So a cold compression test, just make sure when you do that, you specify that, because some people might be going, oh, mine's like 180 normally. But yeah, if this motor was heated up, it probably would be 180, 190 too. So anyways, what I'm going to do now is kind of put everything back together, clean it up a bit more, take some pictures, put the results in, list it online, and then it'll go to someone else who needs an RB25 manual engine drivetrain kit, whatever. I don't know what I'm saying anymore. Let's just get to it. Okay, so it's finally time to pull down my RB20 that was in the track car. So I got to figure out why this thing wasn't building oil pressure or whatever happened to make it go bang. It kind of sucks, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of like weird material in here that looks like dirt and stuff. So gonna pull it all down, figure out what's gone wrong, what's popped, and throw you on the time lapse, I guess, and just go from there. All right, so as you would have seen in the time lapse, I've stripped the entire motor down and everything looks good. The motor spins over really nice. I don't see any movement or anything when I tap on the pistons and put some pressure there or anything. So I'm really confused as to what's happened here. We're gonna dive deeper after lunch, check if there's any blockages or anything in the pickup, because from what we could see, it looked like there was an oil starvation issue. So I checked the pump. The pump's all good and doing exactly what it's supposed to do. The crank collar's all good. There's like no shavings in the sump. I'm really confused. And like the head, there's no problems with any of the valve clearances or anything like that. I don't know what's going on. I'm really confused. But anyways, we're going to keep diving into this. After this, I'll get the girdle off and see what's going on there. See if we can figure out if there's any bearings that are loose or anything, or just, you know, we've lost a bearing. I don't know. Because apparently it started knocking before when it went bang and everything. So got to figure that out. But for now, everything looks good. Everything looks kind of salvageable. So kind of looking forward to hopefully getting this thing running in the car soon. So anyways, enough fun with that. Time for me to get some lunch. Okay, so back from lunch, the first thing I'm going to do is take off the oil pickup, then take off every single conrod from the crank, tap out the piston through, well, the top of the engine really, but the bottom there. And then once I've got all of that off, take the girdle off, and we'll be able to inspect all the bearings on the thing and work out what's gone wrong and go from there, I guess. So back on the time lapse, guys. All right, so I finished pulling the whole motor apart and we've worked out what's happened. All the bearings, all the rod bearings are like blue and starving from oil. Everything looks like there was no oil pressure. So I pulled a little oil filter relocation kit off and there's not a single drop of oil that went through the filter. So this explains why it kind of just stopped working or like entirely after only running like a first 5 minutes after the first start. And it just didn't have oil pressure. I looked back at the oil pump and realized that the pressure relief valve here that lets it build up pressure to send it through the motor that then reliefs itself, something's wrong there and it's missing or jammed or something in there. So it was open, so there was no way that this pressure could build up in here. Now we put this together very late one night, like 5 years ago, before we even like started the workshop, and we didn't really know what we were doing back then, so kind of not surprised, but silly mistake. Anyways, that's what happens. We'll build it, put it back together, replace all the bearings. It looks like the crank's perfectly fine. Looks like everything just kind of happened to the bearings, so we'll have to send everything away to get checked and remachined and put it all back together and start again. But these things happen. It's just how it is when you learn, especially when you're young. Like I said, we put this thing together like 5 years ago before the garage even started, and me and Sam back then were pretty novice, so things happen. Anyways, I'm gonna get along with the rest of my day. I think this vlog's probably dragged out long enough, so we'll probably wrap it up. All right guys, so I've just gotten home now, and today was a little bit crazy, just with final day at the workshop, doing a whole bunch of stuff to get everything ready so that I didn't forget anything and stuff like that. So it was a little bit crazy, but I did obviously get to discover what the problem was with my motor, what we need to do to fix it. So it's nowhere near as bad as what I thought it was going to be, which is awesome. So all we need to do is send the block off, send the crank off, get everything rechecked. Everything looks fine. It looks like the bearings just, you know, got a whole bunch of heat in them because there's no oil pressure in the motor. So probably going to be just hot tank everything, recheck everything, and then new bearings all around, bolt everything back together with a new oil pump, and should be good to put it back in the car and everything. So hopefully the guys can get all of that done during some downtime once they've caught up on the backlog of work and stuff, so should be all good. I'm just keen to see that car running, and so that next time I'm here we can have some fun in it at the track. But anyways guys, I'm going to wrap up this vlog. Tomorrow me and May are going to celebrate our wedding anniversary, even though it was on 12th of September last month. What we're going to do is we had to postpone it because of the trip and everything that was happening, so we're going to do that tomorrow, spend a good day with that, and tonight I'm probably going to go ice skating, catch up with some old friends, which will be fun. So I might start another vlog from tonight, which will be kind of cool. But anyways guys, thanks heaps for watching. I hope you enjoyed, like, you know, this video pulling down a motor, checking out, finding out what was wrong with it. Plus that RB25 I cleaned and everything. 5 minutes of putting it up on Facebook Marketplace, we sold it right away. So that actually got picked up today by a customer. Just got the gearbox left now to get rid of, so that's awesome. But anyways, thanks heaps for watching guys. Make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video. Ja mata ne.